Hi, Bhanu. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And thank you for being a sport, first of all.
Yes, absolutely.
So, Bhanu, we'd love to first understand how did RateGain happen and what made you jump into this entrepreneurship journey, because it's decently scary.
Yeah.
So, how did it work?
Yeah. So first of all, I come from a very much an entrepreneurial background. My father was an entrepreneur. My grandfather was an entrepreneur. So I think it was in my DNA. So I was in the US. I studied there. I got a double degree. And I started my career with Deloitte. And I was traveling quite a bit. And then I worked for a startup where I was traveling. And so the idea occurred to me of building a price comparison website which would find you the best travel deal. Very similar to companies that you see like a Kayak or even Ixigo used to do that in the previous avatar. So that's how the idea occurred to me. So I packed my bags, moved to India, set up the site, and very quickly realized it's going to be very, very difficult to have a consumer internet site focused on the US based in India. So we pivoted. We became B2B, where we would license this technology. And so we were really solving like this niche use case of knowing what your competition is doing. But then we began to offer other products and capabilities to solve for other use cases, but niche. But fast forward to today, now we have a fully powered, AI-powered, integrated suite that allows our customers to acquire guests, retain and engage them, and have a wallet share expansion. So we work with the top 400 hotel chains, the top 25 out of 30 OTAs, the top 7 out of the top 10 car rental companies. We work with the top DMOs like Abu Dhabi, Singapore Tourism Board, even Incredible India.
Right.
And we now are publicly listed as well since 2 years, and are a very, very prominent and a dominant player in the world of travel and hospitality tech.
And how has your funding journey been? And how early or late did you start with your first fundraise?
Yeah, so we were bootstrapped for quite some time for the first 10 years. And then I've always raised money to actually go out and do M&A so that we can expand on our capability set and really use the RateGain platform, because as I mentioned, we work with all the top players. So it's our ability to then cross-sell, upsell other capabilities to them. And so we raised our first round in 2015. Subsequently, we raised in the time of COVID, which was 2020. And then we did the IPO in 2021, which was another fundraise. And then very recently, 6 months ago, we did what is called a QIP, which is actually as a public listed company. When you go out and raise more money, it's called a QIP. So we raise more money then.
Right. And how has life been from a business angle before IPO and after IPO? What are some of the 3 major changes?
So I think it's been very, very exciting. In terms of changes, number one, I am doing a lot more investor meetings, almost dedicate 1-2 days a month versus having one quarterly meeting earlier when we were with private equity. Secondly, I think public market investors have a different point of view on how they evaluate businesses, and they're really focused on, ensuring that there is profitability in the company. And I find my sessions with public market investors very useful, because I get a peek into how they think and evaluate businesses and learn about best practices that we can employ at RateGain as well.
Sure. So, Bhanu, one quick thing. So, there are a lot of entrepreneurs who might be listening who are considering going for an IPO. And we've had cases in the past where either the price point wasn't the best at the time of launch, or the IPO was done a little early. So, what are your thoughts in terms of how should a company decide that this is the right time to actually do it?
Yeah, so I think it needs to be obviously a mature company with number of customers, with some scale in revenues, etc. And I think profitability is very important to public market investors, and it helps immensely in terms of branding, employer branding, as well as customer branding. So these are all the benefits. And if you are a scaled, mature company with growing and profitable, I think public markets are a great access to raising capital.
Sure.
And it's worked out really well for us.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Bhanu, one last piece that you might want to tell the entrepreneurs who are listening, who are still in the middle of making a lot of these decisions, what would that be?
So I have 3 pieces of advice. One, resilience, because you're going to go through ups and downs. At the same time, you need to continue to maintain optimism, about your business, about where you're going. And lastly, keep smiling. In any adversity, keep smiling, because all your stakeholders, whether they are your employees, your partners, your customers, your investors, they're looking at you, and it does a great deal if you can smile, even in adversity. And it's really helped me.
No, very nice. Thank you so much, Bhanu. Lovely having you on the show.
Thank you.